The small village of Chernovo has always been surrounded by strange rumors. On its outskirts, deep in the forest, stood a stone gate covered with ancient runes. No one knew who had built it or why, but everyone knew one thing: you must not go near it. The locals believed that this gate was the border between the world of the living and the world of the dead. They said that those who dared to open them would disappear forever, and those who had long been buried in the ground would come after them. When 25-year-old Katya arrived in Chernovo, she knew nothing about the gates. She was an archaeologist and dreamed of finding something unusual, but what she found was much scarier than she could have imagined. Katya came to Chernovo at the invitation of Ivan, a local historian, who claimed that there was an ancient artifact in the forest. "You won't regret it," he said. "This place is full of mysteries." When they reached the forest, Katya saw a gate, tall, dark, covered with ruins. They looked as if they had stood there for thousands of years. "Who built it?" she asked. "No one knows, but the locals say this place is cursed." Katya only grinned. She didn't believe in curses. "I need to study them closer," she said, pulling out her camera. As Katya approached the gate, she felt a strange pressure in the air, as if nature itself was trying to stop her. The runes on the stone seemed to glow with a faint blue light. She ran her fingers over one of the runes, and at that moment she heard a whisper. "Don't touch them." The voice was barely audible, but it sounded right in her head. Katya jerked her hand away and looked around. The forest was empty, but the feeling that someone was watching her never left her. "Is everything all right?" Ivan asked, noticing her confusion. "Yes," Katya lied. "It just seemed like it." That night Katya couldn't sleep. Images of the gate kept popping up in her head. She heard the same whisper that she had heard during the day, only now it was louder. "Open us," it sounded again and again. Unable to bear it, Katya stepped outside. The moon was shining brightly, casting the village in a cold light. She felt her feet leading her into the forest. When she reached the gate, it looked different. The runes glowed brighter, and the air around it was drenched in cold. "Who's there?" she shouted, her voice trembling. At that moment, one of the runes glowed, and a stream of cold air rushed out of the gate. "You have found us," came a voice. "Now open the gate." The next morning Katya told Ivan what had happened. "Were you at the gate at night?" he asked with horror in his voice. "Yes," she admitted. "I heard a voice." Ivan turned pale. "You shouldn't have gone there. Those gates aren't just rocks. They are sealed for a reason." Katya didn't understand why he was so afraid. "I have to find out what's behind them," she said. "If you open them, you will release something that shouldn't be in our world," Ivan replied. Katya decided to research the local legends. In an old book found in Ivan's